Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, where we're going to be jumping in for a Manufacturers Cup today. We're going to be at Lago Maggiore and we're going to be in Group 4 Machinery. So if you would have seen my last video on the Manufacturers Cup, you would have saw that we are tasked with bringing victory to Genesis. This is going to be my first race, so we are starting right down the back, just trying to have a little bit of fun, trying to get used to the car and track combination. So it is a four-wheel drive, this G70, so we're going to flick the brake balance all the way to rear, so that we can really get it turned in. It does have a lot of understeer after the latest update. So as you would have saw from the title of this video, I am regretting my decision for choosing Genesis. Of course I did have my reasons, but I think there was a lot of other manufacturers that could have done a lot better during this season. But we're going to see what we can do in this big boat. Starting of course on the hill, so that is going to really hamper our progress on this first lap. But we'll see if we can pick up any pieces from any carnage that ensues. Going into turn 1 here, very difficult track to get right, and of course with everyone doing exactly the same lap times, there is not going to be much in the way of gaining positions. So this, for me, this combo was incredibly boring, incredibly dull. However, we are going to pick up a couple positions here as we see the two Porsches there colliding. So that's going to be 2 positions. We're also going to gain a good advantage on the BMW. So we make a move around the outside of the BMW, coming into the braking zone. We just managed to get in front, get it stopped for Big Banky Boy, and then all the way up the hill. However, we don't have any slipstream at this point, so we are going to just come in for our pit stop. Now this has to be the weirdest pit stop in history. As you can see there, the pit crew all ready with their fuel, with their tyres. However, as you're going to see here, the fuel and tyre wear was on 1 for this race. So we don't need any of it, we're just going to stop and then go again. The pit crew wondering what the hell I am doing. But if you don't need tyres, there's no point changing them, that is just going to lose you a massive amount of time. Something else that is also going to lose you a massive amount of time, that is coming into the pit lane too hot and running over the white line. That is going to give you a 3-second penalty, which of course is going to lose you quite a lot of time. So as we come to serve our penalty, luckily we don't have anyone immediately behind us. So we did come in for the early pit stop on lap 1. That is going to put us in P14. Moving a couple laps later, we are going to pick up another position as Matty here, the Polish driver, also serving a 3-second penalty. So we're going to be up to 13. Onto lap 4, or onto lap 5, sorry, and this is kind of where my race unraveled. As you can see here, the Italian David is just coming out in front of us, and now that is really going to hamper our progress as we are just not able to find any way past. Of course, this track is incredibly difficult to overtake at the best of times. So we're trying to get a good run out of the hairpin. However, we're just not able to make a move on this Porsche. Porsche incredibly good at braking, so it's going to outbrake us as well, coming into Big Banky Boy. Now I did think that the Porsche was low on top end, however with the slipstream we are still not able to gain, coming all the way up the hill. Of course the Genesis did have a massive nerf after the update, or during the update. Now we make a bit of a mistake here in the hairpin. That's going to put us onto the grass. So we're going to let the Subaru take that position. Maybe he can have better luck at tackling the Porsche up ahead. That is also going to give us a better slipstream coming up the hill, so we're not going to lose too much time. Of course, we're still going to lose a bit of time, but not too much. We're going to fast forward now once again all the way to lap 13, where we did manage to catch up with this pack of 4. However, we're going to get a little bit too excited coming into the hairpin, and we're going to go into the back of Mr. Deer. Unfortunately, that loses him a position, and we do pick up a 2-second penalty, even though we didn't leave the track and we didn't gain an advantage. I suppose we did cost him a position. So we're going to gain a position here anyway, as he gets a poor run coming out of Big Banky Boy. Now they're going to go side by side through the S's up the hill, and unfortunately Matty is just going to be sent into the wall. So we're going to gain another position here. So now we're right up behind Angelilo, the Spaniard in the Porsche. Now we're not looking to make a move here, as we do have our 2-second penalty to serve anyway, so we're just going to lose more unnecessary time. Coming into the hairpin, making sure we don't hit the Porsche up ahead. Make sure we also don't run wide on the exit. We do get a better run than the Porsche, but we do have our penalty to serve, so we're going to serve that now. 2 seconds. We're going to move out the way of the Subarus who are battling behind. We're going to lose 2 positions thanks to that penalty. I'll fast forward in again here to lap 18. But we do get a good run on the Subaru. He's going to go defensive, that's fine. We're going to go around the outside, which is then going to be the inside for the hairpin. Making sure we get it stopped nice and neat and tidy. So that's going to give us P11. He tries to make a move around the outside, but we do have a little bit of slipstream. It's not much, and we do have the inside for Mr. Banky Boy. So we make that move stick. We do get a little bit wide on the exit though. That is of course going to give the run to the Subaru. He tries up the inside, but that is then going to be the outside for the following corner. So we do manage to keep hold of P11. Now we just have the task of catching up 1 second to Mr. Deer up ahead. We do manage to finally do that on the last lap, coming into the very difficult hairpin. I'm going to look to make a move. He does go a little bit defensive, so I thought fair enough, we're going to go all the way around the outside, getting the better traction on the exit. Now that is going to put them side by side coming into Mr. Banky Boy, so we have basically guaranteed our 9th position. As they continue to battle behind, we almost leave it here on the exit of Mr. Banky Boy. So that is going to give both of them the run coming up the hill. As you can see, they're gaining, but as long as we hit the apexes, there is nowhere for them to go. We're going to come home in P9 for the very first race. Now just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, I've got one more race for you today. We're going to be starting in P2 for this one. We have the French Mr. Savage behind us. We also have the Italian Forget About It. And we have the Brit in the Mercedes of Scarfi. Now Scarfi is one to pay attention to later in this race. Of course the top 5 are also going to be very heavily involved during this race. So we're starting a little bit further up the grid for this one, already on to lap 2, as nothing really happened on that first lap. We're going to lose a position here. We're going to lose actually 2 positions here as the Nissan tries to barge his way through. However, we do get the beautiful cutback as he runs a little bit deep into turn 3. Or maybe that is turn 2, I'm not really sure. We're coming now into the hairpin, making sure we get it stopped nice and early. So we have lost 1 position in the opening 2 laps, but we're going to fast forward now to lap 4. Now keep your eye on the Italian behind, who is 0.6 seconds behind. However, that is no distance for him, so he's going to push his way through, even with a 0.5 second penalty. which I was furious about at the time. I thought that was a really dirty move. But we're gonna just not worry about it too much, as we have lost quite a few positions and quite a lot of time on these opening 5 laps. We are gonna then come in for our pit stop and come out in beautiful clean air. Now we do have Scarfy in the yellow Mercedes right behind. Now he came in a lap earlier, I believe, or maybe on lap 1 for his pit stop, so he doesn't have to pit again, and we know he's a fast driver as he was starting in P5. So we're going to pay attention to what happens during the race with that one. Moving now to lap 8, where we gained a position from the Scirocco who's serving his pit stop. Now I don't really understand the pit stops in this race. Why would you have tyre and fuel on one if you have to have a pit stop? Why not just use the pit stop to gain fuel or tyres? I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to gain a position here from the GTR. However, we do have a penalty to serve, so we're going to serve that. We're going to lose that position. However, we do manage to just about keep hold of P8. Now the GTR just decides to run into the gravel for some unknown reason. I'm not really sure what he was thinking, but we're going to gain that position. Now the Frenchman who was leading this race has made his pit stop, and he's going to come out in P5. So everyone in front of us apart from that Frenchman has to make a pit stop. So we should gain a few positions. Of course we came in from P4, so we should be in around about P3, P4 by the time all the pit stops have been made. Now unfortunately we go a little bit deep here into the hairpin. That is going to give the position away to the Mercedes of Scarfy. Now I did feel like Scarfy was maybe a little bit quicker than me during the race, so it's not a bad thing. We're just going to use his pace, use his slipstream, so that we can try and catch up with as many cars as we can up in front. Moving on now to lap 12, we've gained another position from the Italian serving his pit stop. And we're going to fast forward once again to lap 15, where the Frenchman who overtook us on lap 2 came in for his pit stop. You also have the Swiss driver serving his pit stop, so we're going to gain 2 positions, just managing to come out in front of the Frenchman, so we managed to do the jump on him. So now we have 2 drivers up in front that need to serve their pit stop. That should put us in P3, which won't be the worst result in the world. Of course we did start in P2, so we have lost 1 position overall, and we do have the Frenchman behind who seemed very quick in that TT. As you can see here on the penultimate lap here, that TT just seemed to have incredible pace in the race. Not really much we can do there as he just pushes his way alongside. But we're going to settle here in P4. We have a half-second gap to the Brit behind in the Cayman. So as long as we can just keep it nice and tidy, we should be able to bring home a P4 position. Coming into Mr. Banky Boy here, we're trying to look for a move on the Frenchman, who does go a little bit wide, but it's not going to be enough. As you can see, coming home to finish in P4, losing a total of 2 positions during that race. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.